speaker this month, and as you can see as you walked in, that we're really looking forward to welcoming you to help us today with the topic of happiness as our own therapy. So please help me welcome Dr. Susan Mathieu.
Sorry, there's no PowerPoint. I need that connection. I do handouts. Only me. Okay.
I believe love's a ripple on the water, waves of love are washing over me. I believe we're all swimming in one ocean today, 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 today. I believe that life's a celebration, dance with steps. I believe we're here to teach each other today, 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 today. I believe that the nights are long and lonely. One friend's call will soon the darkest hour. I believe that the sun will rise each morning, new day, today, today, today. I believe love has formed a mighty circle, love in action, sacred harmony. I believe we will sing our songs together today, 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 today. I believe we will reach out for each other, helping hands are there for you and me. I believe that their touch is magic today, 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 today. I believe love's a ripple on the water, waves of love are washing over Washington. I believe we're all swimming in one ocean today, 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 today.
Thank you very much. And tell me your name in the front row. I can't.
Veronica.
Veronica, you showed such energy and passion. I'm going to give you one of my two gifts today. I have one. I wear it all the time. Live happy. Here you are. Let's give her a big hand.
Changed my attitude. I came in with a lot of pain, and it just was nice to have something happy happening.
I'm so happy to hear that. Well, before my career in teaching, I worked several jobs, and in one job, my boss said, "Have a good day." So I went home. Yes, I've been called the happy professor. Have you ever had a professor that, upon reaching a class that was so full of anxiety, an assessment class, going over the final, I wore a gorilla suit. I never said anything that, here I am, I just walked in a gorilla suit and went over the whole final, the study guide, and I walked out. To this day, I've had so many students come up to me and say how much they remembered that, and how as a recreational therapist, I taught them how to reduce anxiety, have some fun. be happy. I've married 5 of my students. I got one of those California certifications, and I get calls. I'm going to conduct a wedding this summer, or next summer in 2018, from a student I had 12 years ago. And they keep coming back. And this is not bragging, it's just when you bring happiness into the classroom, in anything you do, you get that strong connection. Happiness and smiles make you powerful. It helps you make friends. And when I spoke here 3 years ago, I talked about using humor with children. And I also cautioned you not to use any type of humor that would embarrass anyone. So I won't embarrass any of you today. Remember that your energy introduces you before you speak. So I was watching all of you come in, and at this time in the morning, Cal State Long Beach knew not to give me a class before 10 or 11. I was the one who loved the evening courses. So getting up early, I practiced for 3 nights going to bed early and getting up. And it's okay that I didn't have a great hair day, or I stressed over what color shoes will go best with a royal blue suit. I said, if that's what I'm nervous about, I've got it made. I was in a hurry because my mother-in-law's been staying with us a week, and I had to take her to the airport. She leaves tomorrow. Smiling influences our emotions. And I know from many of our talks here that you understand the brain, endorphins, and your brain doesn't know if you're faking it. You don't know if I had a fight with my spouse this morning and had an awful day on the freeway and I came here and I'm smiling. I could be miserable, but I want to present to the world and I want to change things around. I learned through a lot of my research that there's a couple different types of smiles. Give me a fake smile. Smile without your eyes. People resent those. So think of a smile and smile with your whole heart. Let me see you. Vicki, oh, look at those smiles. So that's number 1 in elevating your mood. Number 2 is connect with another individual. Look at them, make eye contact. I've tried over the last few days to practice making eye contact with somebody that wasn't smiling, that just thought they were going to get to walk past me and look straight ahead. And I did a big, big smile. And some people started to smile and they go, can this be true? And then when they break into a big smile, it really elevated my mood. I've tried walking out. We've had so many studies in this area, even though this is what do we say, under research, that smiles and connecting with another person really helps with depression. So all the therapists, how many therapists do we have in the room? They're still practicing clinic. Yeah, just smile at them and tell them to go home. So what I like to, I teach a happiness and humor class in this room the first Friday of every month. And the class started from a research project I was doing measuring stress among older adults. And we worked with adults in the study from 55 to 100. Anyone 55 think of themselves as older adults? Anyway, yes. I found that the biggest stressor was not health, I just lost my train of thought. Let me think. Let's see. It was loneliness. So it'll all come back to me. But the biggest stress. So I said, what can I do about that? Let me create a group that will facilitate relationships. Hence the Happiness and Humor group. I wrote a 12-week program. And to this day, it's been years and years and years, I can't give it up. Okay, so what I've had them do is write positive experiences that have happened in one day. And then at night, relive those experiences. Then go the next day, write again, and relive them. So when you relive them, you're infusing all this positive energy. Can anyone think of a positive experience they've had in the last week? Anybody? Oh, it's a, yes.
Mine yesterday, I had been looking for my mailbox keys. I don't really check my mail all the time, but my daughter is there, and the food book came. And I was looking for it, and all the way to the last minute, I'm like, okay, this is not something that's bad. So Lord, why are you not letting me find it? And then I had an appointment as well. So I'm like, I'm gonna be late for this appointment. And so like at the very last minute, he just sent me exactly where I would have never looked. And the keys were right there. And I'm talking about someone skipping down to the mailbox to get this book out and have it there when she came home from college because I was gone. So that was really, I mean, it was happy.
It was happy, and just when you were reliving it, your eyes were sparkling and you were smiling, and it helped the rest of us. So that's one thing, and it allows our brain to relive it. So another thing, I'm going to have to walk way. Oh, here they are. These are bugs. I have a student here from Florida International University. Let's give him a hand, Brian. He pass out the bugs, just throw them on the table. And think of one thing that bugs you. Just one thing. We all know. And smile. As he's passing it out, I want to share a story. A friend of mine just retired. And his wife wanted him to get involved in a photography group because he loves photography. Well, in 6 months of being in that group, they had a competition, and he won first place. And the photo was out there at an exhibition. It was so wonderful. And his wife and they were standing there admiring the picture, and a woman comes up behind them and says to her friend, I don't know why that got first place. And they could have turned around and said, oh, you don't like my, they just thought that was the funniest thing. They didn't want to embarrass her. And no, don't ever admire art in that way in a public setting. I mean, think about it. But they just smiled at each other, and it's a story that they tell over and over again. To have someone right there critiquing your work. And his wife's been to a couple of my happiness and humor classes, and she just said it was just a big smile. So we have to train our brains just like we train our body. Any of you guys exercise? Yeah. Okay. Walking is exercise, swimming is exercise. And just like we train our bodies, we have to train our brain to respond in a positive way. I gave a box of chocolates to a friend, or I'd say an acquaintance, because I didn't know that much, and about her health. And she said, I can't eat chocolates. You know I have diabetes. if that was one of my happy group members, they would have said, thank you, and I wonder who I can pass this on to. Because whenever we I have to always remember I'm being taped, so I can't give too many of the personal stories that you get on a Friday morning. But you always have to remember that you're dealing with someone's personality and their feelings. And I know on days when those of us in social services are challenged and we have to work so hard to keep a smile on our face, the ones that stay positive are the individuals that are able to bounce back when there's a crisis. How'd I get it for some of you who didn't attend it? I know those that attended my talk 3 years ago, you remember every word. But I got into the area of happiness and humor after a tragedy in my life. We lost our first son to SIDS, which is, of course, those of you who don't know the generic term, it's group death. And I never thought I would be able to be happy again. Never, never, never. It's our first child, and we were just caught up in grief. I always had a pretty positive outlook, but that really challenged me. And I found by helping others and volunteering to be in support groups to help others that have followed in that path, I did so much better and I bounced back. And the research tells us that those that have a positive attitude are able to rebound much better than those that live in negativity. I'll have an elderly person in one of my groups say to me, I just miss my husband so much, and life is really difficult. And I'm thinking, I wonder if it's been a year or so, and maybe 6 months. And I said, oh, when did your husband pass away? 28 years ago. And I have to take a deep breath and go that person has been living with grief that long. And then I went on to talk to her about how she's responded to other situations, conflict in her life. And as it turned out, and this is, I'm being very, very generic here, she was pretty negative about a lot of things, because she told me, I've been coming here and I can't make friends. And I thought to myself, well, take that mean face off. I can't make any friends. Every group I join, they don't listen to me. But she had that where you just wanted to run and hide. And so we worked together, not as a clinical relationship, but just within the group. And we talked about good news, bad news. And here you get good news, here you get bad news. Oh my goodness, they've messed up the insurance again. I have to make so many calls. Oh, this is awful. I can't deal with insurance companies. Good news, I have insurance. And you look at that, and I deal with that on every day. I look at something and I look at how I can turn it around. And I started doing that with this individual, and she came to me and let me know how things have really changed. Not overnight, but if maybe 1 out of 3 times you don't be the victim in that grief, then things are much better. And I started dealing with my depression, with losing a child, not thinking things would ever be better. They started to turn around, especially when I began helping others. Okay, you've had a lot of time to think about what bugs you. What bugs you, and I'm gonna teach you how to turn that around. Anybody in the group?
Pain level.
Pain level? Pain level. And then if you turn that around, can anyone throw out how that bugs her and how you can make that a less buggy situation, a better situation? Anybody?
Just the fact that she's able to make it here today.
Yes, that you're here today sitting in the front row and you want to live happy. Yes. Absolutely. So you look at stressful situations, I don't want to get too dark here, but on the freeway, when someone's waving their arm at you, and what did George Carlin say? The shortest amount of time is when the light turns green and someone honks their horn, you know? And you do that, and I want to know what kind of arm waver are you? Are you, I gotta, I oughta, or are you, thanks for letting me in? So you have to decide what kind of arm waver you are. And think about that every time you, I don't think there's any I oughta in this. I know there's a lot of thank you, thank you. One time I almost got out of my car, we were at a red light and gave a thank you note because someone was so nice in all this traffic to let me in. Smiling. When you leave here, I want you to smile at everyone you see. Everyone you see. Now, not in a strange place. I don't want anyone to worry about you. Like, on a corner. But I want you to make eye contact, and it's going to elevate you for the day. I promise you. And those have read studies know that a smile, a true smile of happiness with your eyes and the whole body is involved, releases as many endorphins as that chocolate bar. How many of you love chocolate? Look at this. It's the first time everybody woke up this morning. Chocolate. Everybody is quite awake. So we do that. Okay, I'm going to talk to you now about seeing things for the first time, as if you were a child maybe at a party. So I'm going to take you along, and I'm going to look at everything in this room as if it's the first time. I'm one who loves to walk. I love to drive in unfamiliar places. Makes me so happy. I was with a friend of mine, and we went away for the weekend to a beautiful hotel. And I walked in and I said, look at the view from here. Oh yeah, that's really good. Oh my goodness, the soaps and the lotions, everything is just fantastic. Oh, and we can get room service. Look at this menu. And she said to me, have you been traveling much? Like, she couldn't believe my enthusiasm. It was a good friend, but I was really excited about it. Now, you don't have to go to that extreme. But if you look at things and feel yourself being bored, you need to up that happiness quotient. You need to do that. We're conditioned to survive. So if I see a snake and a gorgeous flower, what am I going to react to? Anyone? The snake, because I'm threatened. So if I'm at a conference and I'm the keynote speaker, true story, and I get 200 absolutely fabulous evaluations, and there's one that says, little silly, I didn't learn much. What am I going to focus on? Just saying that right now, I got a knot in my stomach, reliving that. No. So you know that's back to millions of years ago for survival, that we automatically go to the negative. So if something's happening in your office and it's negative and you repeat it to this one and to this one and to this one, you're reliving that. And that's why when something negative happens, deal with it, say, I need to go on, and go to your happy place. Yes?
Yeah, I don't remember, I'm trying to remember where it was and what the numbers were, but I know that somebody back east compared the number of times a toddler smiles or laughs per day versus adults smiling or laughing per day. And it was over 200 times for the toddler, and it was 19 for the adult. So I think it's a learned behavior
yes.
not to smile.
I think so too, and I've read several studies like that, and so here now you're all aware of that, and you're seeing why a lot of toddlers are running around and having a good old time, and why we're stressing about work. And we're faced, I gave you a prescription, I hope everyone picked it up, because I am a doctor, you know, and I want you to put that in a place of honor. So, don't you think everybody looks better when they smile? Let's see you all pretend to have your cell phone up to your ear, and someone's calling you that is, you don't want to hear from that person. So say hello in how you feel about that person. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Now, same person is calling you, and you're going to fake it, and you're going to smile and say hello. Hello? Look how that changed. I can feel it in the room. It changed, and you were more able to deal with the situation and the individual. It's magic. I'm going to charge you all when you leave. Now, none of us are waking up in the morning thinking, let me see who I can make miserable today. Sorry, but don't put yourself in places that make you feel bad. Some of us, are in work situations, and all of you probably are not. You're in work situations that are stressful, but you don't hate your job. If you hate your job, you're coming here to find out how to cope with it, which is a good sign. But you want to be in situations that you can feel better and use that smile and use that body language. Okay. Listen. So smiling and laughter make you powerful. Now, if a supervisor lets you know something that wasn't right, you don't start laughing. You might be able to say you're right at your job. But if you smile with that, people, and you don't look defensive, how does a look of defense look? Yeah, you're closed up, so make yourself open up to the information. See yourself, if anyone takes any photographs of you, talking to someone that is difficult. You'll see yourself going like this, even covering up your mouth. Let me see everybody how you're listening to me for me. I only have one yawn so far, so this is good. This happy-go-lucky guy was talking with his wife, and she said it was their anniversary. And she said, I had such a wonderful dream. I dreamt on our anniversary you gave me the most gorgeous diamond ring. And he said, just wait. She waited. She opened up her present, and it was a book of dreams. Okay, that was an empty joke, but it was I got a kind of a strange sense of humor from my mother. She had on her refrigerator, this is at 90 years old, she had on her refrigerator her kids' worst pictures. Like photographs of all of us that were kind of blooper kind of thing, with our eyes shut and we're talking. She thought that was absolutely hilarious. And she had pictures of all of us, so she waited for those pictures to come out. And my two sisters just never thought that was very funny and would say, and they were both LCSW. Okay. But they just, Mom, when are you going to take those down? Someone's going to see it. And I saw it as a keen sense of humor. I thought it was great. Okay, this is my favorite part. I want you to live your life as a dog. How many of you have a dog? Okay, great. How many of you have ever had a dog? How many of you have ever seen a dog? So you understand this. 6 a.m. I get to go outside, I'm so excited. 6:30, I get to come back in, my favorite thing. 8 o'clock, I get to sleep, my favorite thing. 8:30, I get to wake up and see you, my favorite thing. 10 o'clock, repeat, my favorite thing, my favorite thing. Now, if you can approach some of the tasks during the day, or approach your task as if you get through 2, 3, and 4, but at 5 it is your favorite thing. You're going to get those 3 things done. I don't like emptying the dishwasher, so I put on a song that's 2.5 minutes. And I say, I'm going to put all these dishes away by the time this song is, and I make it a game. No wonder I'm a recreational therapist, but you have to do it. I've been told every positive thought is a prayer, whoever you pray to. A positive thought. And if I have a positive thought about my stress level here today, I stressed about what color shoes and how is my hair going to look. Because this kind of hair, you go with it. And it tells me what's going to happen in the morning. So those were my stressors. Any of you have a GPS? Any of you have a navigation system? Once again, like the dog, do you know what a navigation system is? Okay. So if you're facing something that's a surprise to you, or in the navigation system, if I said I wanted to go to Lakewood Boulevard, but I needed to go a little farther, and the navigation system says recalculating, that's what I do when I'm surprised by something. Say I said good morning to Paula today, and she greeted me with a hi. Paula never greets anyone that way. But if she did that today, in my head, I would say recalculating, because it wouldn't be a joyful, hey, how you doing? And she, no. We recalculate so we don't take everything personal. Oh, Paula's not smiling at me, so she must not like me. It's all personal, like Q-tip, quit taking it personally. I used to pass out Q-tips to everyone. Anyway. If you don't want to be happy, yes, sir.
I just thought I'd say before you go too far past it, the other day my wife and my daughter came home. She's 14. Daughter. And they walked in and they're acting crazy. I mean, they're just like bouncing off the wall and they're coming in. And it wasn't until they started trying to kind of like lick me that I knew that they were pretending to be dogs. I was just kind of like, whoa, what's going on? And then they're like, we decided we're going to act like our dogs. And exactly what you said. And they came in and we started dancing around. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a weird kind of entry, but then it was super fun. And so we kind of got this idea that if we're kind of, maybe a little bit off kilter, we'll try to act like our dogs. So thank you for saying that, because it's kind of a cool thing.
I think that's very, very cool. What a fun household. Because I'm going to the opposite right now. If you don't want to be happy, consider the following, okay? And I'll give you this list because I think it's important. Nothing can meet your standards. Be sure to tell everyone how bad the food was and how the food service fell short. If you don't want to be happy, stay alone as much as you can. Avoid seeing others, cancel plans frequently. Say, I don't like crowds, I hate parties. Tell everyone that. When someone bugs you, tell as many people as possible. Avoid any physical effort. Drive everywhere, and when you get home, plop down on the sofa. Cultivate habits that keep you feeling stretched and overwhelmed. Continue to make complex plans. Do you know anyone like that? We do. So you'll get this. And I have smile first. Listen and learn from others, be new and improved. Anyone in my age bracket knows the commercial, the new and improved, whatever. But everything's new and improved, and we can be new and improved as well. Happy people don't fret about everything. If people are coming over unexpectedly, you're happy for the company. If other people, if they're coming over unexpectedly, go, oh, why did they call? The house is a mess. I have no food. I don't have a cake. They always look at the negative. Now, have any of you ever been held in a situation where you can't get away? I almost held Paula in a situation. She asked me how my kids were. And instead of telling her they're great, they've got jobs, I started giving her both their resumes. And I realized Paula's a very busy person. I picked up on the social cues and I cut it. We've known each other for years and I absolutely love Paula. But some people want to talk so much that there's no interaction. You know how a conversation's supposed to go? This person talks, this one answers or responds. It's not this person talks and this person talks and this person talks. And I'm not talking about a therapeutic situation. No, I'm just talking, we're working on us today. But it's important to know that we can pick up on social cues and a very convenient way, a very respectful way. In my job here as coordinator of the senior adult program, I work with a lot of people that their one social event of the week is our weekly luncheons. And people want to talk, and there's only one of me. So what I try and do is facilitate relationships. Find something that two people have in common so they can talk with one another. I get to know them well enough. And that's why this room is just bustling once a week on Wednesday. When you want to have a conversation with someone and they're not speaking up, use your therapy side. Tell me more. Oh, I'm interested in that. Happy people are curious. Miserable people don't care how you feel. They're looking at how to get what they need, and it's never enough. A smile is a symbol of hope and strength. Do I have, how much time? Oh, good. I have a lot of stuff. And beware of the backhanded compliments, and I'm talking about maybe once in a while, because positive people don't say, "Oh, your Instagram makes you look so fun." I wish I was as chill about clutter as you are. You look so much more awake when you wear makeup. I love your apartment. It's so cute. The food is delicious. Costco? I want to play a song for you, and I want you to listen to the words. And as you do that, and you're listening to the words, we're going to have a music lesson following that.
In the land of the living, breathe deep and stay sane. Try a new dance, another chance.
I just love that because you look at life, and we could either say yes or no. We can say yes, sun coming up, and what our day is going to be like. Anyway. Okay, we're going to talk about complaining. Does anyone know someone who complains? Yes. Is anyone guilty of it a little bit themselves? No. There's not one person who is a little bit. Well, we take complaining fast. And the complaining fast, you start with 15 minutes. And then you can go to 30 minutes. And then you can see if you can go a whole day. Has anyone complained today, so I can use you as an example, about anything? Oh, yes.
I complained about having to wake up early and leaving my daughter behind to come to the meeting.
Okay. You're going to win my clapping and contributing. You can pass this down. She's coming.
I mean, go ahead. Thank you.
Yay, use it.
Yes. Any other complaints today? Yes. Go ahead.
I'm too tired.
Okay. Wake up. That's for you. Let's give her a hand. I talk about whistleblowers and how whistleblowers bring down agencies and businesses. We've kind of heard a little bit about that in the news lately, but we can be whistleblowers on ourselves for a bad attitude, for complaining, and all you have to do is think, I'm going to that spot, and as easy as change. Some of you know people that say, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I find love. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I get my doctorate. I'll go to you. I'll be happy when I'm tenured. I'll be happy when I have children. I'll be happy when my children get married already. I'll be happy when my grandchildren will come to see me. It can go on and on. And when I meet a happy when person, I kind of back up a little bit because it's for all areas of our life. I'll be happy when I get a bigger home. Happy people don't compare themselves. When I was in the pool with the 95-year-old recently, and she said, I said how gorgeous she looked, and she did. And she said to me, oh, you should have seen me 25 years ago. I said, I'm seeing you now, and we're friends. And I said, remember, happy people don't compare. We don't compare how we looked yesterday. I don't compare that this hair was just beautiful last week when I had nowhere to go. But we don't compare ourselves to our younger selves. We don't compare ourselves to someone with a house that we wish we could have, or a car, or a job, or a supervisor, because that will just bring you down. And if you're aware of that you're comparing yourself. I remember when I didn't have to use so much hair dye, and more often. I remember that, but I am so happy I'm able to do that and can afford a box of Lady Claro. They don't call it Lady Claro. So, if you're going to use your kazoo in a proper manner, the first thing you have to do is be able to hum. I don't hear it. Okay. Hum, hum, hum. Now, take the larger part of the kazoo and hum into it. Oh, I love that. Okay. This is perfect. When someone you don't care for comes into your life, all you have to do is when a negative thought comes into your mind, all you have to do is I'm going to turn on a song, and we're actually going to create an orchestra. Now, if you're the one person that's going to write, this was not what I woke up early for. I'm really sorry. My favorite person in the room, Marion. Okay. I mean, I just said that so she'd like me more. Marion, you are. Okay. Before you started blowing on your kazoo, think of between 1 and 5, 1 being you're barely out of bed, 5 being you're so excited. Think of the number of amount of energy you had before you started humming on the kazoo. How many fingers? 2 probably. Good, that's what you're supposed to do. And then when you started hearing the music, even though you may not like that type of music, I think it's upbeat enough. What did you feel? 5. Oh, that's why she has a hat. She'll be up here and give me every answer I want to know. But you can do this. I've had people that have kept their kazoos for years. They say, I still have the kazoo. And once in a while, when I really get in that mood, I just start humming along with the song. So I really, yes. Another way that you're going to remain positive is get enough sleep. I can't say that enough. You can't live on short amount of sleep and feel that your stress level is going to be low. It's going to be high. You're going to sleep, you're going to eat, and mostly healthy things, and then leave a little room for the not so healthy, and you're going to have fun. And that includes another person. You have to have the social contacts. You can't live alone. And I know many people live alone, but you can't always live alone. You go outside beyond your front door and you meet a friend or you join a group. And all my message, you can pass this on. But I wanted to give you enough time. We have stickers, choose to be nice, and I hope that you wear your sticker proudly. And then I had a happiness card. You have that there? I will share happiness, that's your homework. How you are going to share happiness, and then it can stick on the wall, and anyone who emails me about that will get a nice hello back. But I wanted to leave enough time for questions and comments, because it's just not a one-woman show here. Any questions? Yes.
So working in DCFS, we get a lot of our social workers who experience vicarious trauma and compassion fatigue and all that. So one of the things we try to talk with them about is self-care, and there's a lot of different things they can do for that. But sometimes it's getting them kind of up over the hump to do that, kind of take it to make it. I was curious what you think about that, even if you're not happy, just kind of going through the motions of things that will make you happy, for the exercise, going for the walks, etc. What do you think about that kind of pushing the issue, even if they're not genuinely happy to get them or not?
I think that's very important, and the research reflects that it really works, faking it. And if you find that one of your employees just can't make it, that you're seeing a more severe problem, then, of course, private counseling. But to fake it and continue to try and smile, try and be positive, look at what you're doing. When I look at what I can do as an American today, I think this is what I can do. I can create a whole group of people that will treat each other nice. And so if I've heard something that people aren't treating each other nice, I know what I'm doing is good. And when I worked, I don't know if any of you remember Cedar House. I was the children's program coordinator there for 8 years. And we worked with families and just did wonderful work at looking what you have and what you don't have. and with also the therapy, and continuing to look at that, this is good, this is not so good. This is bad, this is good. So we're going to look at the positive with recognizing we're going through a very difficult period. But thank you for bringing that up. Anybody else? Well, I really want to thank you. This was a great opportunity for me to see what the world looks like at 7 a.m. And I love this group. I've been affiliated with a lot of your agencies in one way or another, and I really respect the work you do, and I'm so glad you're here to represent all of the good work that we all do. Thank you very, very much.